Intergenerational relationships. Building bridges across the generations. Hey there, friends, and welcome to Meaningful Living. It's always a joy to connect with you. We here at Meaningful Living, including myself and my co-host Paul, are constantly searching for the most helpful and interesting information to share with you, designed to enrich your daily life and foster well-being in every sense. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that truly resonates with the heart of what meaningful living is all about: the incredible power and importance of intergenerational relationships. It's a journey into how connecting with different age groups can profoundly enrich your world and the world around you. We invite you to ponder with us. How are you doing today? Are you feeling good? Take a moment for yourself, breathe deeply, and remember the importance of checking in with your own well-being throughout your day, no matter what tasks you're tackling, even if it's just tending to your beautiful garden. Drop a few words in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. In this episode, we'll explore why the fast-paced digital age can sometimes create a sense of distance between us, and then, most importantly, we'll uncover how the profound strength of intergenerational connections can not only bring immense personal fulfillment but also significantly strengthen our communities. We'll equip you with practical, actionable tips and share inspiring, real-life stories that illustrate exactly how to build these invaluable bridges, nurturing truly meaningful connections that last a lifetime. We'll even tackle common stereotypes, showing you how to find common ground and shared joys that unite us rather than divide us. So, if you're ready to discover new ways to forge deeper bonds with family and friends of all ages, and you're eager to make your life shine brighter with more purpose and authentic joy, please stay with us until the very end of this video. And, of course, if you haven't already, take a moment to subscribe to Meaningful Living right now, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos, filled with insights and inspiration to help you live your best life. As we embark on this exploration of intergenerational connections, it's crucial to first understand the evolving landscape of how we interact. The world around us has transformed dramatically, especially with the relentless march of digital technology. This shift has redefined how generations connect, or sometimes, how they drift apart. The changing landscape of connections. In our modern world, dear friends, it's becoming increasingly common to feel as though an invisible, yet often palpable, wall has emerged between generations. This sense of disconnection seems to have grown particularly pronounced with the arrival and rapid expansion of the digital age, an era that has fundamentally reshaped almost every aspect of our existence, from the way we communicate and learn, to how we spend our cherished free time and even how we find entertainment. Cast your mind back just a few decades. Families would gather together, huddled around a radio, listening intently to their favorite programs, or later, around a television set, sharing the collective experience of watching films, sporting events, or the evening news. These were precious moments of genuine togetherness, forging shared memories that are often treasured for a lifetime. However, the scene in many households today presents a starkly different picture. We frequently observe an older family member engrossed in a physical newspaper or a book, while a parent might be scrolling through an endless news feed on their smartphone, and a teenager or child is completely immersed in the captivating world of virtual reality, an intricate video game, or a stream of short videos on popular online platforms. Each individual, it seems, is residing within their own distinct digital universe. This can regrettably create a feeling that we are living parallel lives under the same roof, or even if separated by distance, the depth and authenticity of our communication can diminish, giving way to quick texts and emojis. It's precisely this phenomenon that fosters a unique generational gap, a divide that, we must acknowledge, simply didn't exist in the same way before. Yet, on one hand, technology, unequivocally, opens up extraordinary, truly fantastic avenues for connection and interaction. We now have the ability to see and speak with loved ones living on another continent every day through video calls. We can play online games together with our grandchildren, regardless of geographical distance, or even enroll in joint online courses, learning something entirely new and sharing our real-time impressions. For instance, I recently heard about a wonderful lady, Mrs. Evelyn, who is 78 years old. She decided to embark on learning Spanish online, and remarkably, she's doing it alongside her 15-year-old granddaughter. This isn't just about language lessons, It's become a beautiful, meaningful way for them to spend quality time together, engage in conversations, laugh at their mistakes, and even celebrate their successes. This is a brilliant example of how technology, when used mindfully, can actually bring us closer, rather than pushing us apart. But, on the other hand, friends, we must be honest with ourselves. Technology can also erect a powerful barrier if we don't consciously learn how to harness it for genuine, profound, and living communication. Sometimes, we become so absorbed by the glow of our device screens that we overlook the invaluable richness of a live conversation. The nuances of expression, the shared silences, the subtle shifts in tone. We forget the profound importance of a shared meal without distractions, where glances meet and words flow freely, or simply the comfort of warm silence when you're physically present with a loved one, feeling their presence without needing constant external stimulation. We sometimes neglect to look up from our screens to truly see the genuine smile, or perhaps the quiet concern, on a loved one's face. Those non-verbal cues that convey far more than any digital message ever could. Interestingly, as Paul often reminds us, even among the most influential and successful families globally, there's a deep-seated understanding of this particular challenge posed by the digital age. There's compelling information suggesting that children from affluent and influential backgrounds frequently use gadgets for a very, very limited time during their day. They often adhere to strict, clearly defined rules regarding screen time. Instead, their primary focus is directed towards books, engaging with both fiction and non-fiction, fostering deep personal communication, nurturing critical thinking skills, actively participating in sports, exploring arts and music, and crucially, developing essential real-life skills. Many of them, even up to their teenage years, do not own personal smartphones or tablets. This intentional approach ensures their world remains clean from the endless, often meaningless, information clutter that bombards so many. This allows them to learn how to analyze deeply, to focus on what truly matters, to study subjects in depth, and as a result, they tend to grow into individuals who are more wise, more successful, more self-reliant, and more adaptable to the complexities of the real world. This serves as a powerful testament that a conscious limitation of digital influence can be incredibly beneficial, especially when it comes to shaping the future generation and preserving genuine, heartfelt, and high-quality human connection. Understanding this fundamental shift, both technologically driven and profoundly cultural, is absolutely crucial for us to begin effectively building these bridges between generations. This doesn't imply that we should completely abandon technology and attempt to live as we did in the last century. Not at all. It means we must consciously acknowledge its multifaceted impact, both positive and potentially negative, and then seek wise, balanced ways to integrate it into our lives. The goal is for technology to serve as a tool that fosters connection and mutual understanding, rather than creating barriers and alienation. It's about recognizing that younger generations often think differently, utilize different tools, and possess their own unique priorities and values that might diverge from ours. Simultaneously, the older generation carries its own unique, priceless wisdom, accumulated over years of experience, which may not always be fully understood solely through the lens of modern technology or fleeting youth trends. Only by genuinely acknowledging these differences, by accepting them with respect, and by identifying potential obstacles, can we then confidently move to the next, vital step, finding real, actionable pathways to restore those invaluable connections that each of us needs for a truly fulfilling, joyful, and harmonious life. So, we've carefully examined how our modern world shapes our connections, acknowledging both the challenges and the opportunities presented by the digital age. But even amidst these complexities, let's always remember that within intergenerational relationships lies an immense, untapped power. And it's precisely this profound power that we're about to explore in our next segment. The power of intergenerational relationships. Now, after understanding the landscape of our changing connections, let's turn our attention to something truly profound. Despite the potential differences and the barriers we've discussed, intergenerational relationships possess an immense, often underestimated, power capable of profoundly enriching every single life they touch. This isn't merely about pleasant social interaction. It's a deep, dynamic, and genuinely two-way exchange that yields concrete and truly tangible benefits. When different generations thoughtfully come together, a remarkable synergy emerges, a collective strength that can elevate and enhance the lives of all participants. We've identified at least 3 pivotal aspects of this transformative power, each contributing uniquely to a richer existence. First, and perhaps most intuitively, it's all about mentorship and guidance. Our older generations carry decades of invaluable experience, accumulated knowledge, and profound wisdom. They have navigated life's countless twists and turns, witnessed immense societal and technological changes, and can generously share this priceless legacy with those who are just starting their journey. Imagine, for a moment, a loving grandfather patiently teaching his grandchild the intricate art of woodworking, not just imparting specific skills with tools, but also instilling timeless virtues like patience, precision, and the satisfaction of creating something with your own hands. Or picture a beloved grandmother, carefully guiding her grandchildren through cherished family recipes, and along with the culinary instructions, sharing captivating stories about the origins of these dishes, the family history intertwined with each ingredient, and the simpler times when these recipes were first created. This isn't just a simple transfer of practical knowledge, it's a profound transmission of an entire cultural heritage, deeply ingrained values, and critical life lessons that cannot be found in any textbook or online tutorial. It's the kind of wisdom that truly prepares younger individuals for the complexities of life ahead. Conversely, younger generations, with their innate adaptability and familiarity with new technologies, can become invaluable mentors to their elders. They can patiently guide and assist seniors in navigating the ever-evolving digital world, helping them master a new smartphone, showing them how to connect on social media, or even setting up video calls that allow them to stay vibrantly connected with family and friends who might live across the country or even the globe. This mutual exchange of experience and wisdom across age groups, this beautiful give and take, can significantly contribute to the personal growth, professional development, and overall well-being of both sides, creating a truly balanced and enriching relationship. And here we arrive at a critically important observation that we at Meaningful Living often discuss. Young people who lack consistent interaction with and do not gain experience from older generations frequently struggle with basic life skills around the house. We've noticed this pattern repeatedly. Simple tasks, like hammering a nail straight, troubleshooting a leaky faucet, preparing a wholesome meal from scratch, or even the seemingly trivial challenge of understanding why a common household appliance isn't working, can become surprisingly daunting problems for them. This isn't just a minor inconvenience, it presents a significant obstacle to their everyday living and, even more so, to their future self-reliance and independence. After all, basic life skills, resilience, and practical common sense don't simply appear out of thin air. As Paul always emphasizes, they are most effectively transmitted from one generation to the next, often through shared hands-on work, through engaging stories, and through the gentle, patient guidance of those who have already navigated these paths. This serves as a powerful, real-world example of why mentorship is absolutely crucial, not solely for career advancement, but for developing fundamental life competencies and fostering true resilience in the face of daily challenges. Second, this power is evident in shared perspectives. Each generation, by virtue of its unique historical context, prevailing cultural trends, and significant social shifts they have personally experienced, cultivates its own distinct and valuable perspective on the world. The act of openly exchanging these diverse viewpoints profoundly broadens everyone's horizons, helps us to more fully grasp the intricate complexities of the world, and encourages us to see familiar things from a completely fresh and insightful angle. For example, engaging in thoughtful discussions about current political events, societal changes, or cultural phenomena with someone who has a vastly different lived experience can genuinely dismantle ingrained stereotypes and significantly deepen our mutual understanding. I recall a wonderful conversation with a viewer, Mrs. Peterson, who shared how her 22-year-old grandson helped her appreciate contemporary music genres she previously dismissed, while Mrs. Peterson, in turn, shared poignant stories from her own youth during the civil rights era, offering her grandson a profound, first-hand understanding of history that went far beyond his textbooks. This kind of interaction enriches our thinking, cultivates a more expansive worldview, and makes us more genuinely open to new ideas, ultimately fostering deeper empathy and mutual respect across the age spectrum. And third, intergenerational connections play an absolutely pivotal role in strengthening our communities. When individuals of diverse ages actively interact, collaborate, and genuinely support one another, the result is the creation of a more cohesive, a more supportive, and a truly inclusive community environment. This can manifest in countless ways, through joint community projects, like a neighborhood cleanup where teens and seniors work side by side, through organized volunteer efforts, such as young people assisting elderly residents with heavy shopping or yard work, or simply through spontaneous neighborly mutual assistance, where older adults might offer childcare when parents are at work, or younger neighbors check in on those living alone. This active engagement fosters a powerful sense of belonging, promotes mutual aid, and cultivates a spirit of collective responsibility, all of which are fundamental cornerstones of a strong, healthy, and resilient society. Such connections literally build sturdy bridges not only within individual families but also across our entire local environment, making it a more stable, harmonious, and vibrant place for everyone to thrive. So, the multifaceted power of intergenerational relationships is abundantly clear and undeniable. But the crucial question remains: how exactly can we, in our everyday lives, begin to actively build and nurture these profoundly meaningful connections? That's precisely what we'll explore in detail in our very next segment. We've just explored the profound and multifaceted power hidden within intergenerational relationships. Now, the crucial question naturally arises: how do we transition from simply understanding this immense value to actively building and nurturing these truly meaningful connections in our everyday lives? The good news is, it's often simpler than it seems, and as Paul often reminds us, it begins with a few foundational, yet incredibly impactful, steps. Building meaningful connections. So, we've thoroughly understood just how incredibly valuable intergenerational relationships are. They're not just a nice-to-have, but a fundamental component of a rich and fulfilling life. But how exactly do we bridge the gap between this understanding and concrete action? How do we take those first, vital steps to build these truly meaningful connections in our busy, often fragmented, daily lives? The truth is, it's often far simpler and more accessible than you might imagine, and at Meaningful Living, we believe it fundamentally starts with three core principles, each building upon the other. First, and perhaps the most powerful catalyst for connection, is to actively create opportunities for shared experiences. This is where the magic truly happens. When people from diverse age groups engage in activities together, the artificial barriers and perceived differences often dissolve quite naturally, making way for genuine human connection. Think about it. Actively seek out or organize activities that genuinely appeal to individuals across the entire age spectrum. This could be something as universally beneficial as volunteering in your local community. Perhaps a joint effort to clean up a neighborhood park, lending a helping hand at an animal shelter, or organizing a local charity event that brings everyone together for a common cause. For instance, in many communities across the U.S., there are thriving adopt-a-grandparent programs, where young students regularly visit senior living centers, or Big Brother/Sister initiatives that pair older adults with teenagers seeking guidance. These programs offer structured ways to connect with purpose. Beyond formal programs, simply immersing yourselves in local community events can be incredibly effective. Think lively farmers markets, vibrant town festivals, patriotic holiday celebrations, or even local concerts in the park. These are natural gathering places where people of all ages mingle freely. Even within the comfort of your own family, you can explore and establish joint hobby groups or shared activities. Perhaps a weekly cooking session where everyone learns new dishes, a family gardening project, where grandparents can share generations of growing secrets, and younger members can assist with the heavier work, engaging in classic board games or puzzles that span generations, enjoying leisurely nature walks, visiting local museums, or simply spending a quiet afternoon looking through old family photo albums, sharing stories and memories. The core principle here isn't necessarily the perfect outcome of the activity, but the process itself, the quality time spent together, the shared laughter, the quiet companionship. These moments are the fertile ground upon which lasting memories are forged and unbreakable bonds are strengthened. Second, and absolutely fundamental to any robust relationship, is to embrace open communication. This isn't just about talking, it's about connecting on a deeper level. To truly bridge generational divides, it is absolutely paramount to consciously practice active listening and genuine empathy. What does this truly mean in practice? It means moving beyond merely hearing the words being spoken. It means making a sincere effort to understand the feelings, the underlying thoughts, and the lived experiences of the other person. Give them the space to express themselves fully, without interruption, allowing them to complete their thoughts and feelings. Ask insightful, open-ended questions that genuinely encourage them to share more, to tell their story, rather than questions that elicit only a simple yes or no answer. For example, instead of a routine, "How are you?" try a more inviting, "What's been the most interesting or challenging thing that's happened to you this week?" Or, "What's been on your mind lately that you'd like to talk about?" Be patient, always. Sometimes, it takes a moment for someone to gather their thoughts. And crucially, always respect the other person's perspective, even if it differs significantly from your own. As Paul often reminds us, try to metaphorically walk a mile in their shoes to truly understand their viewpoint and the experiences that shaped it. Remember that each generation's journey and perspective are unique, and there is no single right or wrong way to see the world. It's about broadening your own understanding. And third, a truly transformative step is to actively break down stereotypes. This is vitally important for achieving authentic understanding and connection. Let's be honest, each generation, often unwittingly, harbors certain cliches and preconceived notions about others. We hear phrases like, "Young people are glued to their gadgets and don't know real life," or, "Older folks just don't understand modern realities." These stereotypes, however innocent they may seem, are incredibly detrimental. They are very real barriers to genuine communication and connection. It's time to actively challenge these biased assumptions. Instead of relying on guesswork or old narratives, foster true understanding through direct, open conversation. Take the initiative. Genuinely inquire why younger generations are so captivated by certain games or social media platforms. Ask them to explain the appeal, to teach you something new. In turn, share your own stories with them. Tales of what your life was like at their age, the challenges you faced, the dreams you pursued, and the lessons you learned. Seek out shared values and common interests that truly unite you, rather than focusing on the superficial differences that often divide. You might be genuinely surprised by how much common ground you can discover once you consciously set aside your preconceptions. For example, many young people today are deeply interested in vintage items, sustainable living, or community activism. Topics that often resonate strongly with older generations who lived in times when resources were precious, things were built to last, and community engagement was a natural part of daily life. Remember, dear friends, that building these profoundly meaningful connections takes both time and sustained effort, but the rewards, we assure you, are absolutely incomparable. For when we open ourselves up to each other, when we truly engage across generations, we not only immeasurably enrich our own individual lives, but we also become an integral part of something much, much larger. We contribute to a stronger, more vibrant, and more compassionate society. And speaking of that, something bigger, of the inspiring stories that vividly demonstrate how these principles work in practice, we'll delve into those heartwarming examples in our very next segment. We've now thoroughly explored the profound importance of intergenerational relationships and delved into practical strategies for building them. But what could possibly be a more compelling and heartfelt testament to the effectiveness of these tips than hearing about real-life experiences? As we at Meaningful Living often say, there's nothing quite like a good story to illuminate the path forward. Inspiring stories of intergenerational bonds. We've just discussed why intergenerational relationships are so vitally important and offered actionable advice on how to begin cultivating them in your own life. But what, my dear friends, could possibly serve as a more powerful and convincing proof of concept for the effectiveness of these very tips than hearing actual, heartfelt real-life stories? These are inspiring examples of everyday people who have successfully navigated generational differences and built truly meaningful, lasting connections across the age spectrum. They vividly demonstrate precisely how these principles work in practice and reveal the profound ways in which such connections can transform lives for the better, bringing unexpected joy and purpose. These narratives aren't just emotionally stirring, they provide tangible, compelling evidence that the effort required to build these bonds is immeasurably worthwhile. Allow me to share a truly heartwarming story about Evelyn and Michael. Evelyn, a vibrant woman of 80, found herself facing a profound sense of loneliness after the passing of her beloved husband. She cherished her books, finding solace and joy within their pages, but sadly, her eyesight had begun to significantly diminish, making reading a struggle. Michael, a bright and compassionate 16-year-old high school student from a nearby neighborhood, was actively involved in a local volunteer program specifically designed to connect young people with seniors in their community. Initially, both Evelyn and Michael felt a little shy and reserved around each other, unsure how to bridge the generational gap. But Michael, with a genuine desire to help, began coming to Evelyn's home a few times each week simply to read aloud to her. What started as a simple act of service quickly blossomed into something far more profound. Soon, they found themselves not just discussing the plots of the books, but deeply sharing their thoughts on life, their differing perspectives on music, and even playfully debating the merits of various video games. Evelyn, drawing from her rich life experience, began to share her vast wisdom, offering insights and lessons learned over 8 decades. In return, Michael patiently and enthusiastically helped her learn how to navigate a new tablet, opening up a world where she could listen to countless audiobooks and, even more wonderfully, connect with her distant relatives through video calls, bringing their faces right into her living room. Their remarkable friendship not only beautifully dispelled Evelyn's profound loneliness but also provided Michael with an entirely new, compassionate perspective on aging and the immense, often undervalued, importance of respecting and learning from the experiences of others. As Paul often says, their bond became a beautiful testament, proving unequivocally that true connections genuinely know no age limits. Consider another wonderful example, the story of the Garner family. In this bustling household, both parents worked demanding jobs, which meant their 2 children, 7-year-old Lily and 10-year-old Sam, spent a significant amount of their afternoons and weekends with their loving grandparents. Their grandmother, a truly passionate and gifted gardener, gently, yet enthusiastically, involved them in the hands-on care of her sprawling backyard garden. The children, initially, weren't exactly thrilled about getting their hands dirty, preferring their indoor playtime. However, with consistent encouragement and shared effort, they gradually learned the fascinating process of planting tiny seeds, meticulously tending to the delicate plants as they grew, and even experienced the immense satisfaction of harvesting their very own vegetables and fruits. Their grandfather, a quiet but skilled craftsman, took the time to teach them the strategic intricacies of playing chess, and soon, their evenings often concluded with exciting, sometimes intensely competitive, matches. These shared, tangible activities, the patient art of gardening and the strategic challenge of chess, did far more than simply teach the children new practical skills. They created an abundance of irreplaceable, joyous memories, intrinsically strengthening their family bonds in a way that no passive screen time or individual gadget could ever hope to replicate. This is a vivid and powerful illustration of how shared experiences, thoughtfully cultivated, can truly fortify the very fabric of family connections, building a legacy of togetherness. These deeply personal stories profoundly underscore the tangible, positive impact that genuine intergenerational connections can have on people's lives. They serve as compelling narratives, demonstrating how the invaluable exchange of wisdom, accumulated experience, and simply the joy of time spent together can bring profound happiness, a renewed sense of purpose, and an undeniable feeling of belonging to both younger and older individuals. They beautifully dismantle the common misconceptions and myths that suggest different generations cannot possibly find common ground or truly understand one another. Instead, these stories powerfully illustrate that empathy, genuine curiosity, and a willingness to be open are the fundamental keys that unlock the heart of everyone, regardless of their age or background. They show us that age is merely a number when hearts are open. If you, dear viewer, feel inspired and moved by these powerful stories, and now feel a yearning to build similar, enriching connections in your own life, remember this simple but profound truth: start small. Don't feel overwhelmed by the grand vision. Perhaps it will be as simple as initiating a friendly conversation with an elderly neighbor you see regularly, offering a helping hand, or taking the opportunity to learn something completely new from a younger family member or acquaintance. The most crucial elements are to remain genuinely open to new possibilities, to actively seek out those moments of connection, and to always be ready and willing to engage in honest, heartfelt dialogue. Our journey together is nearing its end, but the most important part is yet to come. The next and final segment of our video will empower you with concrete ways in which each of us can take decisive action for a more connected future, not just within the intimate circles of our own families, but extending outward, creating a ripple effect throughout our wider communities. It's about building a legacy of connection. We've now journeyed through the profound benefits of intergenerational bonds and been uplifted by inspiring stories that truly bring these connections to life. But the ultimate aim of meaningful living is always about empowerment. So, how do we take all this understanding and inspiration and translate it into tangible, impactful action in our own lives? It's time to talk about building a more connected future together. Taking action for a connected future. My dear friends, we have together witnessed the transformative power of intergenerational relationships, and our hearts have been touched by truly inspiring examples of how these connections change lives. Now, the time has come to shift our focus to an even more empowering question. How can each and every one of us actively take decisive action for a more connected future? This isn't about grand, sweeping gestures or waiting for someone else to initiate change. It's profoundly about the cumulative impact of daily, intentional steps that each of us can take, steps that can dramatically improve the quality of your own personal relationships and, by extension, uplift our entire communities. First and foremost, I genuinely encourage each of you to take a quiet moment for thoughtful reflection on your own existing relationships across generations. Close your eyes, if you feel comfortable, and consciously bring to mind the various people of different ages who populate your life. Perhaps your adult children, your cherished grandchildren, beloved nieces and nephews, neighbors you see regularly, colleagues at work, or even just acquaintances you encounter in your daily routine. As Paul often says, self-awareness is the first step to any meaningful change. Ask yourself, is there anyone among them with whom you feel a sense of distance or disconnection? Is there someone with whom you yearn to grow closer, to deepen your bond? This honest self-assessment, this clear understanding of the current state of your connections, is not just helpful. It is the very first and most absolutely crucial step toward actively improving and enriching them. Take a moment to truly ponder this question. What is one small, simple thing I can genuinely do today to feel more connected to someone from a different generation? Second, we are thrilled to offer you a suite of highly actionable steps for actively building bridges and fostering deeper connections in your own unique life. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and often, the most powerful step is the one you initiate yourself. Don't simply wait for others to make the first move. Bravely and enthusiastically be the initiator. Purposefully plan shared activities. This doesn't have to be complex or expensive. It could be something wonderfully simple, yet deeply bonding. Perhaps inviting your grandchildren for a leisurely walk in a local park, or settling in together to watch a beloved classic movie that you cherished in your youth, sharing your memories and insights. Or consider teaching them a treasured hobby that brings you joy, be it the calming art of knitting, the satisfying process of a simple home repair, or the delightful experience of preparing a cherished family recipe together. If you find yourself without nearby relatives, think creatively. Explore opportunities for intergenerational volunteering at your local school, where you could read to children, or at a senior community center, where you might engage in activities with other residents. Many communities have programs where older adults mentor young students, creating incredibly rewarding bonds. Cultivate an open mind and be genuinely receptive to new things. Actively ask a younger person to patiently teach you something they're passionate about. For example, how to navigate a new social media platform, understand the latest trending app, or even explain the intriguing rules of a popular video game they enjoy. This simple act demonstrates your genuine interest, your humility, and your admirable openness to learning and growing, which are qualities deeply respected by all generations. Practice the art of deep listening and insightful questioning. Show a truly authentic and profound interest in the life, experiences, and perspectives of another generation. Instead of falling into the trap of simply recounting how things used to be, though sharing your past is valuable at the right time, genuinely ask, what truly inspires you in today's world? What are your biggest dreams and aspirations? What do you believe is the most significant challenge facing your generation right now? Or, what's something you wish older generations understood about yours? Generously share your own life stories. Don't hesitate or feel shy about sharing your personal experiences. The triumphs, the challenges you've faced and overcome, the pivotal moments that shaped you, and the invaluable life lessons you've learned along the way. These narratives can become powerful sources of inspiration, wisdom, and deep understanding for younger individuals, helping them navigate their own paths with greater clarity and resilience. Recognize and embrace the power of small gestures. A simple, unprompted phone call just to check in and ask, "How are you doing?" Sharing a quiet cup of tea or coffee together, sending a brief, thoughtful text message, or offering a sincere compliment. All these seemingly minor gestures, when offered consistently and authentically, accumulate to create a powerful, undeniable sense of care, appreciation, and enduring connection. It's often the small, consistent acts of kindness that truly build the strongest bonds. And last, but certainly not least, as we at Meaningful Living deeply believe, let's collectively promote a pervasive sense of community and profound inclusivity. We are all truly interconnected threads within one grand, vibrant mosaic, and each generation brings its own unique, irreplaceable colors, textures, and perspectives to this magnificent tapestry. By consciously fostering environments where everyone, regardless of age, feels profoundly valued, genuinely understood, and fully accepted, we are actively constructing stronger, more resilient families, more vibrant and supportive communities, and, ultimately, a more deeply interconnected and compassionate future for all. This is the vision of a future where timeless wisdom is not just preserved but actively shared and passed down from one generation to the next, where innovative new ideas are met with genuine curiosity and profound respect, and where every single individual feels a deep-seated sense of belonging and truly feels like a cherished part of something much, much larger than themselves. Dear friends, as we bring this enriching discussion to a close, we here at Meaningful Living truly believe that the power of intergenerational relationships holds an unparalleled potential to transform our lives in profoundly positive ways. It's not just about adding another activity to your schedule, it's an invaluable investment in your personal happiness, in your mental and emotional well-being, and, crucially, in the vibrant future of our entire community. Don't let fear or uncertainty hold you back from taking these vital steps towards each other. Because, as we often reflect, every bridge, no matter how grand, begins with one courageous, intentional step. Remember, the very essence of meaningful living is to inspire you to live a life brimming with purpose, joy, and authentic connection. And what, we ask ourselves, could possibly be more meaningful than the deep and lasting connections we build with those around us, regardless of their age or background? We sincerely hope that this video has served as a powerful catalyst, inspiring you to initiate new conversations, seek out new meetings, and embrace new, heartwarming emotions that enrich your daily existence. As Paul always says, every connection you make weaves another thread into the tapestry of your life, making it richer and stronger. Now, we turn it over to you, our wonderful community. How do you build and nurture strong intergenerational connections in your own life? Do you have specific family traditions, community activities, or unique approaches that have worked wonders for you? Please, don't keep them to yourself. Share your own tips, insights, and personal stories in the comments below. Your valuable advice could be incredibly helpful and inspiring to countless others who are looking to strengthen their own bonds. If you found this video helpful, if it resonated with you, or if it sparked a new idea, please consider giving it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might truly benefit from its message. Perhaps a family member, a friend, or even a community group. Your sharing helps us reach more people who are eager to embrace a more connected life. And finally, for ongoing inspiration and practical advice to help you live your most fulfilling life, don't forget to subscribe to Meaningful Living. Join our growing community by clicking that subscribe button right now, and make sure to hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. We are here, dedicated and committed, to help you live your very best, most meaningful life, every single day. Thank you for being with us today on the Meaningful Living channel. We look forward to connecting with you again very soon.